welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are still hanging out in the Firmament. And Lord Durendaire wanted to talk to us about something. I thank you for entertaining my request. There's another who I believe would be keen to hear what you have to say. He shall be arriving anon. Desiree, the Count mentioned there was someone you wished to introduce to me. But I did not expect it to be you. Tell me, how have it fared since last we met? Mayhap I should have surmised the two of you were already acquainted. Desiree accompanied Lord Francis and I on a trade delegation with 3 nations, which I dare say would not have been nearly as successful as it was without her insight. Since returning home, I have been pondering many a matter. Long as House Durendaire stood at the fore and done its sworn duty to protect our countrymen from heretics and the Horde. But Ishgard now enters a new era. In these changing times, how must House Durendaire adapt to best serve our fair nation? This is the question that most occupied my thoughts of late. As our nation turns its eyes to the outside world, I would once more look within. House Durendaire shall see that our nation thrives as never before, and every Ishgardian is able to reap the benefits of peace and prosperity. I'm not sure what to say, my lord. Clearly your journey has had quite an effect on you. Needless to say, I wholeheartedly agree with your noble aim, and promise to offer whatever aid is in my power to offer. My knights as well are searching for ways in which they might serve the people now that their blades are no longer needed. Should you lack for manpower, you need but say the word. Very good. I would first task with carrying out some long overdue restorations of the room, which unfortunately remain in a most sorry state. But it will not suffice to physically rebuild the city. No, for our citizens to truly prosper, we will need a steady flow of goods and services. A healthy economy is the lifeblood of any nation, after all. To that end, I also intend to put House Durendaire's fleet of airships to use in shuttling materials to and from faraway lands. You rode in one of our vessels yourself when you aided us in reclaiming the Stone Vigil, did you not? You will forever have my gratitude for your efforts that day. Stone Vigil hard. In any event, we will have need of pilots and machinists, and in far greater numbers than we have now. There are many who would benefit from learning a trade by which they might earn their keep. We will recruit these individuals and train them to the best of our ability. For this, I would enlist the services of a knowledgeable and patient instructor. Maybe there's someone you could recommend, Lord Wilmont? Why yes, I do believe I know just the man. He knows our airships inside and out and has an admirable passion for sharing his craft with those around him. He's battle-tested as well. He was the very pilot who served to help us reclaim the Stone Vigil after all. His name is Sestivald, and do not let his youth fool you, he is as knowledgeable and reliable as any man twice his age. That said, there's a wrap. I've seen neither hide nor hair of him since the war ended. He suffered a wound in his last battle, and I've heard rumors that he has since fallen on hard times. Many such men eke out a living in the room these days. It's a most unfortunate situation, one that does not reflect well on our house or our nation. We must do right by these brave souls, and we must do it now. And so I turn to you, Desiree. Might I task you with seeking out this Sestivald and relaying my offer? I've already drawn up a contract that you might deliver it to the man. I would approach the man directly, but our recent foray into the 3 nations has convinced me that when it comes to negotiating with the common folk, you are far more capable than I. Besides, if I am to bring my plan to fruition, there's another whose aid I must petition, and with all haste. Will you do me this favor and speak with Sestivald in my stead? Then I too shall return to Whitebrim Front and recruit as many knights as I can for the cause. That would be most appreciated, Lord Durmont. With that, I will take my leave. May your meeting with Sestewald be a fruitful one. Now, where can we find this Sestewald? There. Yes, I'm Sestewald. Who's us? By the fury, are my eyes to be believed? What's this? Count Durendaire would personally entreat your service as an instructor and mentor to aspiring airship pilots throughout the... Look, you may be the slayer of gods, but if this is your idea of a jest... It's true, you say? But of course I accept. I would be a fool not to. But why the Lord of the highest houses and the hero as herself would turn to a broken body, nobody rotting his way in the broom is beyond my comprehension. Pray allow me to say that it was a true honor to have had you on board my airship in the operation to retake the Stone Vigil. The mere memory of that triumph has carried me through even the darkest of days. At any rate, the letter goes on to state that should I accept the offer, I am to report to the site of a planned training facility, which according to this is to be constructed here in the Broom, at once. I do believe I'm inclined to do just that. Might I be so bold as to ask you to accompany me? It has been a while since I consorted with nobles, and I fear I might do something to embarrass myself. According to the letter, the site of question is just beyond here, shall we? You must be Sestewald. On behalf of House Durendaire, I thank you for entertaining my offer. Allow me to get right to the matter at hand. As you may know, Lord Francis' efforts to bolster trade with some of the most prestigious merchants from the Free Nations has borne considerable fruit. As such, we have need of capable airship pilots to shuttle supplies to and fro. Lord Firmament has spoken highly of your expertise and would have you train the next generation of pilots that will steer Ishgard to a brighter future. It's my hope that this will also serve to provide an honest, profitable trade for a number of the unfortunate souls who call this place home. My lord, I do not know what to say. You show great mercy at this battered, broken man. Give him a chance to rebuild his life in a way he never imagined. I'm honored and blessed to accept your offer. For as long as I draw breath, I will serve your cause with every ounce of strength and passion that I am able to muster. There's also the matter of securing the funds necessary to operate the new facility, as well as to maintain our fleet. Lord Amendment, I trust I can count on the support of House Phantoms in this matter. That is no longer my decision to make, but I will consult with Arturel, and I see no reason why he would not be receptive to your cause. When you arrived in Phantom's Manor and said you would speak with me in private, I must admit I had my doubts as to what you had in mind. But I cannot very well turn a blind eye to the unprivileged men and women of our society, now can I? Not when the savior of Ishgard stands before me, ready to fight for them. That is why you brought Mistress Klingor here, is it not? You may think yourself subtle, Lord Charlemagne, but I'm wise to your ways. After all, this is not the first time you brought me around to your cause. Or this time at least, I can say it's a noble one. For years, House Durendaire and Phantoms have struggled for supremacy, but we are not so different, you and I. Is it such a terrible thing that we take advantage of each other from time to time? I think not. Besides, I cannot very well let you live a life of leisurely retirement while I remain on the front lines, fighting for men and women who have been forgotten for far too long. As member of Ishgard's most privileged class, It is our calling to lead our nation into a new era of prosperity and enlightenment, and I for one have no intention of shirking this duty. Thanks to your efforts, houses Durendaire and Fortrums have awakened to the plight of Ishgard's poor and suffering, and the restoration of her boom has begun in earnest. Sorry, Sister Wald, I'm already a machinist. But let's return to the Firmament. Okay, back with Frenzel. Apparently it's still going on. Mr. Cesare, we are forever in your debt. Has Lord Frenzel shown you about the Rising Song Quarter yet? Pray tell. Ah, Cesare, it is always a pleasure to see you here in the Firmament. I'm certain you agree that the place is feeling livelier and more cultured than ever, is it not? Truly, we could never have hoped to accomplish this without the help of our preeminent skybuilder. Truly, I have not the words to express the depths of my gratitude. Recently, I have had occasion to take the briefest of respites from my daily duties and reflect upon the reconstruction effort as a whole, and in doing so, my mind often returns to Emanalane's words that day. An ever-growing number of Ishgardians now make their residence in the Firmament, and its markets bustle with customers and exotic wares from across the realm. What more could we need? The answer is clear. A place where those who live and ply their trade here can leave behind their worries and cares and indulge in the finer pleasures of life. And I would like nothing more than for you to be the first to walk its streets with me, if of course you have no more pressing commitments at the moment. Splendid, then let us first make for Sir Vaindor's grace. I think that you too will be keen to lay your eyes on a location which I believe to be a pride of a Firmament. I do hope our presence won't be a bother. Forgive me, the building before us I have dubbed Sir Vaindor's Grace. It's a place where the ailing and injured might see their wounds and maladies tended to. Some of our patients require only the briefest of treatments before they are back on their feet again, and those with more serious conditions might stay in these halls for months. There are even those here suffering from troubling sicknesses not visible to the eye. But our healers do their best to provide a succor just the same. The construction of a facility was first proposed by the House of Commons, but the plan was met with immediate and overwhelming approval in the House of Lords as well. How heartening it is to see our nation come together for a worthy cause. Needless to say, be they commoner or noble, in these halls all patients receive the attention and care they deserve. Nor do we turn away any who seek employment here, regardless of their background or station. Beg pardon, my lord, my lady, if I might trouble you for a moment. I'm but a humble artist working to capture the construction of a firmament on canvas for posterity. I saw the two of you here and simply could not walk by without expressing my gratitude. But yes, I do believe I had the pleasure of looking upon your paintings. You have our thanks as well for your most exquisite... Wait, why does your face look so familiar? You are of House Chevaudan, are you not? You are gracious indeed, my lord, to remember one of such humble blood. It is true, I once had the honor of paying my respects to you when introduced by Sir Adelfell at a banquet. And you, of course, Desiree. There's no greater honor than to see you before me. It was always my dream to become an artist, to capture the world around me in all its beauty, and all its sadness on my easel, that future generations may never forget the time we lived in. And yet, in times of war, there was of course no time for such lofty pursuits. So I've donned my armor and took up my blade, resigned to the thought that I would one day fall on the unending battle against the Horde. Oh, how my heart sung the day you fell, dread Nidhogg, ushering a new dawn for our great nation. At long last I'm able to lay down the weapons of war and take up my brush as I dreamt of for all those years. Truly, it would not be an understatement to say that your heroism inspires every stroke that I paint. Forgive me. Moreover, I'm proud to say that my work has been put on display right here in the halls of Sir Vaindor's Grace. Not to be overly presumptuous, but I feel there's a role for fine art to play in bringing succor to the hearts of the suffering. To that end, I've also made an effort to teach my craft to all who would learn. Ah, there you are. I was hoping to inquire about the price of your latest masterpiece. Oh, pray forgive me. Clearly, you have more important matters to deal with. I meant not to intrude. No apology needed, my good man. On the contrary, I've imposed upon my illustrious friends for far too long already. And with that, I shall take my leave. Thank you for giving this humble artist the opportunity to express his appreciation in person. Whenever you see one of my works, know that it would never have been possible were it not for you. Be proud, Desiree. Truly, you have made your mark on our nation and its peoples in more ways than one. Now, shall we make for the next stop on our little tour? To Snow-Soaked Springs we go. I welcome you to Snow-Soaked Springs, Desiree. The waters here are natural thermal springs, extracted from the subterranean veins beneath Corvus. We see to it that an ideal temperature for bathing is preserved by means of finest fire crystals procured directly from the Duranian highlands. Needless to say, the springs are open to one and... Chief, miss! Don't leave us here alone, I beg of you! Quit your whining already, you know what we can't rest here forever. Well, if it is not Frank, or this Skybuilder. Perhaps you could talk some sense into this fellow? As you well know, we are itinerant artisans, plying our trade all across the realm. When we finish one task, we must move on to the next. We had a mind to celebrate a job well done here before heading to Limsa for our next assignment, but... I simply can't bear to see the chief here go. Why, without them, who will set me right when my hammering technique falters? Who will scold me when I'm tempted to slack off on my duties? As you can see, this fellow simply refuses to let us go. Would you be so kind as to have a word with him on our behalf? This need not be goodbye. You mean I can... Why yes, I can meet her again. Our borders are open now, and Sir Emmerich himself encourages free travel between our nations. Should I wish to pay my regards to the chief, I'm free to travel to Limsa anytime I like. It's just what the savior of Ishgard here says. So stand up straight and quit your winging for once. That goes for a whole lot of you. You all had, and will continue to have, a hand in one of the impressive rebuilding efforts this realm has ever seen. So take some damn pride in your work that the Firmament might soar to even greater heights. Aye aye, chief! Well, that was a rather unexpected distraction. Well, also if it ends well, I suppose. And with that, I do believe we should be on our way. Pray accompany me to the main plaza of the Wilsonson Quarter, would you? Even a Moogle is here, huh? Hey, so that's what Lord Towers? Ah, was these two? Well, look who's come to visit. Might I join you, Kupo? Perfection is ever elusive, but I'm rather pleased with how... Moxon and Tarrison. That's cool. From the Moogle quests. Anyway. As you can see, this is the district's main thoroughfare, connecting the pillars above with a broom below. I often walk the streets here to speak to passerbys and see if there's aught with which I might assist them. And that I do believe you've seen most everything the quarter has to offer. What say you, my friend? Did it live up to your expectations? If it isn't the savior of Ishgard, and not friends as well. Funkrino said I might find the two of you here, and thank the heavens that I have. Conan, it's good to see you up and about again. I trust your wounds have healed? Indeed they have, thanks to Masolar and his most magnificent unguent. I can scarce feel a thing. And to think that were it not for the both of you, would never have even given the poor man a chance, simply had to express my gratitude in person. And yet, my words seem so woefully inadequate when measured against the profundity of your deeds. Though, truth be told, there's one more matter regarding which I would seek your counsel. Might you allow me to impose upon you just a bit longer? Sometimes it seems that you are in greater demand in the firmament than I. There's a way. Small wonder, given all that you have done for the people here. On that note, there are many administrative duties that await my attention, that I'd best be returning to them sooner rather than later. Till next time, my friends. Okay, Conan. I've heard much of your boundless generosity, but never did I believe the savior of Ishgard herself would entertain my humble request. Now allow me to explain. Before I play, let me join you, my friends. Mr. Cesare, how do you fare these days? As for me, I'm pleased to report that business in my provisioner's shop is positively booming of late. Truly, I owe it all to you and Lord Frenzel. Speaking of which, that is precisely why we had hoped to speak with you today. We were discussing how nice it would be if we were able to do something to celebrate the Firmament's restoration and express our gratitude to Lord Frenzel for all he has done on our behalf. I was speaking with Fonquino, and he mentioned that his master is particularly fond of music, and in fact has long dreamed of establishing his own orchestra. While that may be beyond our abilities, I thought the very least we could do would be to arrange for a concert of sorts to be held in his honor. To that end, we are working to acquire the needed instruments, without consulting Lord Frenzel. We mean for this to be a surprise, you see. My friends tell me that you are among Lord Frenzel's closest friends and confidants. I'm certain that nothing would please him more than to see your face among the performers. What do you say? Splendid, I knew we would count on you. I too have endeavored to do my part by putting together the necessary instruments, using parts and techniques I learned from a traveling artisan in town. It is far from a full orchestra, I'm afraid, but at the very least we have a piano, woodwinds and strings. We just had the piano in Saint Royale's dice before coming here. Fortunately, it did not seem to arouse Lord Francis' suspicion. Furthermore, we made an effort to procure a pair of every instrument. Should the mood strike Lord Frenzel, I thought few things could stir the heart of the townspeople than seeing the two of you play a duet. That said, I must confess that I am unsure as to what instrument our benefactor most favors. Might you be so kind as to inquire with Foncrino for me, and pray remind him not to divulge the matter to Lord Francis himself? I'll try my best. Many thanks, and with that I'd best return to the dice to complete our preparation. Marie here will be overseeing the finer details of the concert. Should you have any questions at all about the event, she will be more than happy to enlighten you. And remember, we must spare no effort to ensure this remains a secret. We're counting on you, my friend. Oh, Mrs. Desiree, if it is Lord Francis you seek, I fear he has already returned to his quarters. Is there aught assistance I might offer? A concert, you say, to commemorate the completion of a restoration effort? Lord Francis would be overjoyed of this, I have no doubt. Truly, I cannot thank you enough for your most generous sentiment. The young lord is quite adept with many an instrument, as to which he most favors playing. On second thought, I have an idea. There's a person I would like you to meet. Might I ask you to wait here for just a moment? Well. My apologies for keeping you waiting, Mistress Desiree. Desiree Klingmore, it's an honor and a pleasure to both to see you again. Pray forgive me, I was unaware that you were aiding us in the restoration effort. If I had known, I would have paid my respects far sooner. The situation at the Gimlet Dark remains at an impasse. Sir Emmerich returned from the front not long ago, and I have just followed suit. We cannot very well neglect our duties here at home, after all. My steward, Firmament, mentioned that he had heard from an attendant of House Helenard word of plans for a celebration commending the Firmament's restoration. I take it that you too are involved in this? I took the liberty of informing Lord Arthurwell of your intentions for the concert in Lord Francis' honor. Perhaps you are unaware, but Lord Arthurwell is one of our realm's foremost collectors of orchestrion rolls. Much as I had hoped, he has taken a keen interest in your idea. To tell the truth, in addition to my collection, I have been known to dabble in the art of composition myself. As a matter of fact, I have penned a duet for the piano, inspired by the sights and sounds of a firmament. Nothing would give me greater honor than if you and Francis were to perform it together at the festivals. A splendid idea indeed. My lord has quite a passion for piano, and I am certain he would be more than pleased to perform your piece. If my eyes did not deceive me, a most stately piano already sits atop Saint Royale's dais. If you have a moment or two to spare, pray consider playing a little tune or two on it to practice. Often takes time to get accustomed to a new instrument. In the meantime, shall I ask around and see if I cannot find a few more skilled performers willing to join you on stage? Marvelous. In that case, I shall return home and prepare a transcription of a score at once. I must confess, just the thought of hearing the sweet sound of music ringing out across the firmament has me feeling as giddy as a schoolboy. It will be all I can do to stop myself from skipping and dancing through the streets. So, a piano duet. crafted a piano yourself. That's impressive. Those are complicated. An impressive looking piano sits atop Saint Royal's dice, inviting you to tickle its keys. Practice? You feel as if your piano playing skills have improved considerably. Practice more. Having completed your practice, you now feel confident that you could comfortably perform any tune placed upon you. Your fingers tickle the keys with ease, giving you confidence that your abilities have improved considerably. Check back with Mayuri to see how the preparations are coming along. Really? Playing twice was enough? Well, Warrior of Light was always depicted as a super genius who could pick up anything with relative ease. Desiree, was perhaps you that was practicing the piano just now? Why, that was a veritable virtuoso performance if I ever heard one. Clearly, there's nothing that I could teach you. I'm pleased to report that preparations for the festivities are proceeding apace. With Onkrino's aid, we've also managed to secure additional performers. Yes, I do believe this concert will be a performance to remember. Unexpected symphony. My apologies for the wait, friend. I'm pleased to announce that all preparations are complete and we are ready for you to take the stage. Your fellow musicians should be arriving any moment as well. Hail, Desiree. How goes it? It's quite the honor to have the opportunity to perform with you. Recently I've had the occasion to rest at home with my family and have used the time to assist my daughter with her practice. Rest assured that I will not miss a single note. There you are! Did you miss me, old girl? When brother told me about the concert, I knew I simply had to be part of it. I'm quite virtuoso with a flute, if you didn't know. Why, I cannot even tell you how long I practiced that I might win the lovely Lania's heart with a serenade of her favorite tunes. What are the two of you doing here, and wearing the same garb, no less? Whatever's the occasion? Onkrino said you had an urgent matter to discuss with me. Is everything quite alright? Today we celebrate the reconstruction. A celebration? So that's why everyone has been skulking about the Firmament of late, acting oh so surreptitious. Just so, Lord Francis, in celebration of a Firmament's rebirth, and as but a small token of our appreciation for your effort in leading the restoration, we would announce the establishment of a Risen Song Players, the Holy See's first official musical troupe. And now, with further ado, the stage awaits, my lord. The stage? You mean to say that I'm free to join the performers as well? You're not merely free, Lord Francis. Why, it is a prerequisite for the performance itself, after all. This performance is being held in your honor first and foremost, and I know as well as any that you'd give anything for a chance to perform with your dearest friends. Truly, Lord Francis, it's the least we can do to express the depth of our gratitude. Masalora, Desiree here, and each and every man and woman here spared no effort to help make your vision a reality. Why, even my stuffy elder brother was prancing about with a spring in his step when we commissioned him to provide the score for the occasion. You wouldn't want to disappoint him now, would you? And so, here you go. Have yourself a copy of the score in hand and take your place at the piano with Desiree here, where you belong. Lord Atterwell composed a piece for me, Someone pinched my arm, friends, for surely this must be a waking dream. And that I might perform a duet with you this way? I dare say it's only appropriate, as you have been ever my constant partner and invaluable companion throughout this entire effort. It's an honor and a pleasure to share the stage with you, my friend. The audience is filling in as we speak, and your fellow performers stand by and await your cue. We are prepared to begin as soon as both of you are ready. Simply let me know when you are prepared to raise the curtain, and we shall get the show started. Splendid, I too shall spend my last moments tuning my instrument to perfection. Give me a shout as soon as you're ready, old girl. Didn't he just say he's a flute player? How do you tune a flute? I honestly don't know. I prepared my friend, and without further ado, let the show begin. Time your inputs with the on-screen prompt, so it's a QTE. When the blue prompt appears, time your input as the diamond overlaps. When the orange prompt appears, make several rapid inputs until the prompt disappears. When the red prompt appears, press and hold the input for the duration of a prompt. Okay, let's see how medium I can do this. Ah! Nah. Middling. Mr. Cesare, thank you for the most lovely performance. It was everything we had hoped it would be, and then some. From his glowing expression, I have little doubt that Francis feels the same. Pray go talk to him, won't you? And with that, I should start preparing for the inevitable encore performance, to which I hope you would not be averse to taking part. Do stop whenever you'd like. Smiles across the sky. Desiree, you left me at a loss of words once more. I've long dreamed of this day, and yet somehow it has exceeded my wildest expectations. It was an honor to count myself among your audience, my lord. To be on hand as two individuals responsible for restoring life to the Firmament paid tribute to its rebirth Wait, and I brought a tear to this old man's eye. To think that I would live to see Ishgard enter a true age of renaissance, truly, I'm blessed beyond relief. I too oft find myself scarcely able to believe all that has come to pass. Von Quino, pray remind me not to forget to express my gratitude to the others. That said, Desiree, I do not know whether to be impressed or offended that you saw fit to keep this whole matter a secret from me. You know full well that I would have been more than willing to assist you in preparing for the festivities. But that is the smallest of qualms when I think of what this day must mean to all those who've toiled to restore Firmament to its former glory, and far beyond. Not to mention to all those who live, work and play within these streets, both today and for the many, many years to come. If you will humor me, my friend, there's one last thing I would ask you. Despite being branded and hunted down as heretics, you nevertheless delivered our nation from the throes of war and ushered Ishgard into a new age of enlightenment. And Lord Orchefont, your close companion and mine, in even the most trying of times, was ever a friend to the people, regardless of their blood or station. Ever did he strive to bring them joy and a brighter future. You and Lord Orchefont were more than my friends and comrades. You were a beacon in the sky, a guiding light illuminating the path that I too could only dare to dream I might tread. And so, as best as I could muster, I followed in your footsteps, that I might bring happiness to my countrymen in my own humble way. Pray tell me, my friend, have I done this? Do my contributions to this nation even begin to live up to the legacy that you and Lord Orchefont have built? Let's not get carried away. You've done your homeland proud. Truly, Desiree? Oh, I cannot begin to imagine what it means to me to hear such words from you. This is the happiest day of my life. And now, if you would allow me to just one final word. Countless Ishgardians gave their lives in the war. Among those who have lived to see this age, there's not one who does not realize that their happiness is built upon the sacrifices of those who came before them. Needless to say, I feel the same. And believe me, when the only true way for us to express our gratitude is to make the most of every single day we have, and spend no effort to leave an even brighter world for those who will follow after us. To that end, I offer my most heartfelt wishes for your continued health and happiness. As hero of not just our own land but countless others, I know the burdens you bear are great. I can only pray to the Fury that you are blessed with joy and prosperity far exceeding that which you have brought to all those whose lives you have touched. Lord Overseer? Lord Overseer must come at once. We have a visitor, or could it truly be? Whatever is the meaning of this, Desiree, you heard the man with me. Sounds to be someone important. Whatever could be happening, I do hope it's nothing too dire. My very heart has had enough excitement for the day. Whoever do you suppose this visitor is? I've asked Tomelin to escort our guest here, so let us wait for the arrival. It's Emmerich. My apologies for the unexpected intrusion, Lord Frenzel. Desiree, it's always a pleasure to see you, and yet your presence here tells me that my own arrival has come too late. All of Ishgard has waited in anticipation of a day when we might celebrate the Firmament's restoration. When I heard that the commemorative ceremony was to be held, I finished up my duties as best as I could that I too might attend. And yet... Pray forgive me, Sir Emmerich, the festivities were prepared in secret by my friends here, and I myself was not privy to them. Had I known, your name, of course, would have been atop the guest list. Think nothing of it, Lord Frenzel. It was a celebration of, by, and for the people of the Firmament, yes? Your own presence here doubtless carries far more weight in their eyes than would have mine own. And yet, if I might inquire, just what manner of ceremony was it? At the very least I would relive it through your words. But of course, my lord, my good friends here arranged for a group of players to perform a commemorative concert, or even had the honor of taking the stage to perform a duet with Desiree here. Indeed, truly you are a woman of many talents, Desiree. Not long ago our people's hearts weighed heavy, the worries of whether they could put food on their plates or even live to see the morrow. Today, these same people smile as they walk the streets and fill the air with song. Long-suffering souls whose bodies are battered, wanted for a roof over their head and warm clothes on their back. These same men and women now ply their trade as machinists, as merchants, breathing new life into our proud nation. And today, Ishgard sees its culture flower and blossom yet further, as the joy of music takes roots in the heart of a people, sending their hopes and dreams ever skyward. Lord Frenzel, for leading the restoration, and for all you have done to see the Firmament transform into the living embodiment of our nation's new age, I commend you. You do me great honor, Sir Emeric. For I am hardly worthy of such praise, I will endeavor not to disappoint you with my future efforts. And with that, I'd best return to my duties. It was an honor to join you for even the briefest of moments and see the remarkable work you have wrought. I shall return in the coming days for a closer examination. To think Sir Emeric would heap such praise upon my lord. And this was all thanks to you, Mr. Klingor. You have our eternal gratitude. Twice I always find myself at a loss of words when standing before Sir Emeric. I'm relieved that I did not embarrass myself any further. Come to think of it, it all began here, did it not? I speak of course of the restoration effort itself. In the beginning I could scarce even grasp what I was trying to accomplish. I was fumbling about in the shadows with you as my only guide. And yet, look at the Firmament now. It's the beating heart of our new Ishgard. Its residents and visitors alike pumping life into our nation, and will continue to do so for long after I'm gone. Needless to say, I know as well as any that my duties as Lord Overseer are far from complete. I will do all within my power to see that the Firmament is ever a welcoming place for one and all, Ishgardian or traveler alike. I hope that you too, Desiree, will grace us with your presence from time to time. Pray always think of the Firmament as one of your homes away from home. Due in no small part to your tireless efforts, the restoration of the Firmament is at long last complete. That said, there is yet a need to maintain a steady flow of supplies to use in maintenance and upkeep. To that end, you may still procure materials from the diadem and deliver them to the Mendicant's court. Furthermore, should you wish to put on an encore performance of a commemorative concert, you need simply speak to Marjorie at any time. Finally, an art dealer at the Mendicant Court now has a selection of paintings honoring the reconstruction of the Firmament available for trust chests. Good. There was one other thing I wanted to show. The Skybuilder's Monument. Dedicated to culinarians of surpassing skills. So this monument is server specific depending on which crafter class turned in the most items during the reconstruction effort. And on this server, it's a culinarian. I believe on the server I have Serenia on, it was carpenters. So they have saws here, they have pans. And with that I say, until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.